Hello and welcome to Columbus Local Podcast. I'm Len D'Amico and this is episode number 76. It is my great pleasure this evening to have Austin Johnson and Syd Alexis from the band Austin and the Syd Experience.
I'm happy to be here.
Guys, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is cool. This is different for us. This is exciting.
It's different how?
Well, I've never done a podcast, so this is really exciting.
This is your first podcast?
It is my first podcast.
The cool thing about it, Syd, is that it's going to be here long after we're gone. It's going to be in cyberspace, running on some database somewhere, just laying there waiting for someone to find out, oh my gosh, that band that made it so big. They had that,
now it's going to be like a time capsule.
It's out there. It is. And you guys can pass it around and use it. I know there'll be a lot of fun information we'll talk about today with regard to yourselves.
Awesome, thank you.
And Austin, you too, man. I mean, I think that your worlds colliding is something of a recent event, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Do you want to so it's Austin and the Syd Experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How long have you guys been in operation, and how did it all begin before we kind of get into your backstories?
Well, I say back in 2018, just about, my musical mentor, Sean Carney, introduced us. I think, didn't you go out and...
Is that the Sean Carney?
That is the Sean Carney.
Columbus Blues Alliance, Hall of Famer.
The legend.
Yeah.
Legend. That's a name in Columbus.
Yeah, he's been a big musical mentor of mine since I was probably 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, you sat in with Sean at a benefit, right?
Yeah, so it's funny. The reason I know Austin in the first place, yes, it is because of Sean Carney, but I used to be a background singer for an Elvis impersonator. And the impersonator, he held this cancer benefit where I got to sing 2 songs, and there were other artists and, people there. And that's where I met Sean Carney. I'm just like, wait, that's the Sean Carney. Like, that's so cool. Like, I know who this is. Like, I've seen his posters all over Clintonville and all this stuff. So yeah, he wanted to talk to me after, and it was so exciting because I was starstruck. And he was like, yeah, I know this young guitarist, his name is Austin Johnson. I want you guys to meet, et cetera, et cetera. And then it was like, it's history after that. And we hit it off.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how did you hear, Austin, about Syd?
So Sean hit me up and he was like, I met this young singer named Syd, and she's a great gospel rock singer, and I think you guys would make a powerhouse duo together. He's like, you should contact her and see if you can put something together. And then 2018 happened. We played a few gigs in 2019 together, probably like maybe three,
yeah,
down at the old club called Oliver's that we played down there quite a few times. I used to play down there with Sean a lot, and he was like, we did those few gigs together. Then the pandemic happened in 2020, mm-hmm. and I also joined up with Harper, the guy I used to tour with for a few years, which Sean also introduced me to. And then the pandemic happened, everything slowed down. And then I say, like, last spring, we got together again to start writing and wanted to get serious about putting the band together and getting music out there and booking shows and stuff.
So you guys were playing covers initially? Mm-hmm. Is that pretty much? But starting to think about ideas on the side while you're moving forward.
Yeah.
Was it a duo to begin with, or did you guys have a full band lineup to start?
We would kind of jump between different bassists and drummers, and then we were lucky enough to put the final pieces of our puzzle together with adding Brandon Pettiford on drums and the legendary John Zuck on the bass. So
John Zuck on bass.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
I
John
like,
Zuck.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah,
Oh man, he's a good guy.
he
Yeah.
is.
Legendary bass player.
He is. He's a fantastic player. And
He's really talented.
And
he-
who's drumming with you guys then?
Brandon Pettiford.
Gotcha.
And we've had
He's huge.
we've had a string of great drummers joining us. Andre Scott of Deuce and a Quarter and FOMO Deep, and Tyler Austin of Nomadic Earth. So
yeah.
we've had some we've been in good company, safe
Yeah.
to say.
That's cool. Oh, yeah, some good mojo to help
Yeah.
bring
Yeah.
it along, right?
We also had Pat Kenny on bass for quite a while, for about a year and a half.
Year and a half.
And our lineup that we recorded Mass Destruction and Mother with consisted of Pat Kenny and Brandon Pettiford on drums. And then Syd and I and Sean was there to produce it, and we had a good team together. And we actually did that in Brandon's basement, his home studio. He's got a nice pad set up.
Oh, that's cool.
So-
I was wondering who did the recording. I listened to both of those cuts. I streamed them, and then I've seen you have a lot on YouTube as well. A lot of good video.
Yeah.
From a couple of key venues in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, down at the Summit is what we have a YouTube playlist on, and that's a fantastic venue. We've only gotten to play there once, but we hope to get back into there pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure. And so, Austin, how did you get into playing guitar and get to the point where you're getting some ideas from Sean Carney of
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio? I mean, that's you're a younger guy.
Yeah.
That's quite a a feat to this point at such a
Yeah.
great age.
Well, to start with, I came from a very musical family. I was actually growing up, I went to a festival called Hookahville, and my mom named me at Hookahville in front of the band while they were playing, and so from a very early age, I was already being influenced by Steve Sweeney from Hookah, and he's just those guys are fantastic, and so from a very early age, I was already being inspired by that. And then later on, I'd say about when I was 9, I actually I went down and traded my gaming console in for my first electric guitar, and that was kind of cool. And it was like a cherry red like Squire, just like short scale neck, and try and get serious about it when I was about 11, and that's when I was introduced to Sean. My grandpa was a big musical influence on me, and he saw me trying to play guitar, and I was also grew up playing around campfires with my Uncle Brian, and so I had a lot of people around me playing, and we had lived in this house on Mays Road in Columbus, and it was funny enough because we actually lived next door to Sean Carney's uncle, which was kind of ironic. And my grandpa knew who Sean was just from seeing his posters and from around town, and he went over and met Sean, and he's like, "Hey, I have a grandson that's trying to play guitar. Do you think you could give him some pointers?" And then Sean told him about his blues camp, and he did the blues camp for quite a few years before. He was doing it before I joined, so I know he'd been doing it for a while. And he's like, "Hey, I have this blues camp. You should come check out." And I was probably about 11 at the time, and just starting.
You're so fortunate, man.
Yeah,
You really are.
Went to the blues camp, and then after the first year, I started doing private lessons with Sean, and kind of the rest is history. He's introduced me to a lot of just fantastic players. That's helped me, further my playing even more. And it's in taking me out to his gigs, letting me sit in, and so yeah, it's about, I say.
So it's
Gosh,
been in your blood, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
seems so natural to you, but but you've had some great mentorship, with the folks that you named there. So
Absolutely.
It's good to see you taking that
Yep.
gift and those, fortunate moments, right? Mm-hmm. And bringing it into where you are now and where you're going to be going.
Absolutely.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a long road, but I think I guess it's been almost, it's hard to keep track now. It's been about 14 years now.
14 years from when you were 8.
Yeah, well, not since I was 8. I'm 26 now, but
killing me, man. You're 26.
Yeah, since
and you're talking about being on a long road. You're talking to an old man.
Feels like it's been a long road,
dude. I hope you have very happy moments in your life.
I absolutely do.
Because you've had some friggin' stellar moments already. Yeah. I'm telling you, just from what you've said, it's great.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for growing up in the family I've had, and it's been very nice. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I heard a lot of your music. Knowing you guys were coming, and you're definitely a blues, funk driven musician.
100%.
There's some Hendrix in you.
Yeah.
And what else is floating around in your head when you're playing?
Outside of Steve Sweeney, I love Jimi Hendrix. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray was a big thing for me and my grandfather, and we used to put on a Stevie Ray Vaughan album before we would go to every blues jam in town. And we did that for like 3 years straight, and it was like the same album. We probably played that CD until it can't be played anymore.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
And Stevie, Frank Marino from Mahogany Rush, Eric Johnson. We've been digging on a lot of Humble Pie lately, and just a lot of the just like 60s rock. Man. I love it all. Robin Trower, it's all great.
It is all great. And the thing that I love is, and I think you're in a similar age bracket, and we haven't forgotten about Syd. We haven't forgotten about her. She's over here looking at me like, man, are you gonna
No, not at all. No, I enjoy hearing Austin
tell
his
know.
story.
I love it too. I just forgot. See what happens when you get on. Syd, for you too. I think what I was going to say is, you guys are in similar age brackets.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to see that you guys are playing and performing classic rock material. 60s blues rock based feeling, stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of your DNA, but then it swings into the kind of the gospel end of I think Syd style too. Get some of that influence here in a minute, because Syd, I think are you from Columbus?
I am. I've
so
always
originally,
been here. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And when did music kind of hit you? Or it seems to me you were born to sing.
Yep. I was I was singing right out of the womb. I mean, really, as long as I can remember, honestly.
I can't imagine any other way.
I remember being around 5 or 6 years old. I was like kindergarten age, and that's when I first realized that I had something, that I could sing, because I would sing all the time. And my favorite thing to sing at that age was the ABC song. So yeah, but I've always been singing. I grew up singing in church. I still sing in church. So I've grown up around a lot of different music, gospel, of course, and then my mom, my dad, they both have the type of music that they like too. So I grew up around a lot of Aretha Franklin, Otis Redding. And by the time I was like between 11 and 12, that's when I start like listening to music on my own and seeing all what was really out there. I think I was about in 8th grade, and I discovered Jimi Hendrix, it was just like, wow, this is incredible. So Jimi Hendrix has also had a huge influence on me. My favorite singer ever is Janis Joplin. My absolute all-time favorite singer is Janis Joplin. And when I started listening to Janis Joplin, it's just like, wow, I've never heard anything like this before. So this is really incredible.
Was it what you were hearing, or was it what you were feeling?
I guess a little bit of both. It was a new type of experience for me. It's safe to say when I heard Janis Joplin sing for the first time, it's just like, now that definitely was an experience. You know, she was also someone who grew up in church too, and you know, you just can never escape that type of thing. Like it's something that you grow up in, it's always going to be a part of you. And so I safe to say I identified with that. And she was just very, very important in those formative years. And then I discovered it was just like a lot of rock and roll for me at that point. From 12 to like 19, it was all rock and roll. It was a lot of Prince, David Bowie, Sly Stone, Al Green, Edgar Winter Group, oh wow, George Clinton, Betty Davis, just like the list goes on and on. It's just like I love all of this. I listen to so much music, and that's what I really like about playing with Austin too, because we're not bound by anything. You know, we both listen to a lot of different music, and also introduced each other to a lot of different music too, because I never heard of Frank Marino before him, and he was telling me, you know, like, he's a Hendrixy style guitarist. It's just like, okay, that's all I needed to hear, because I love me some Jimi Hendrix, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you know, vice versa, we've both introduced each other to a lot of great music, and I'm grateful for that, because I listen to so much. I'm not bound by any musical landscape. Have you guys listened to the
Jimi Hendrix Blues album?
Yeah.
It's just labeled blues.
Yeah.
I've probably heard it then.
Yeah, that's one I think you guys would enjoy kind of listening to. It sounds like you already have, Austin.
Yeah.
But that's just crazy. A lot of people are not aware of that particular body of work that he did. I mean, he's obviously a blues-based guitarist, but he's influenced so many.
I love all of his stuff. I mean, some of my favorite stuff is like the studio outtake stuff, where you can just hear him just messing around in the studio, and you're just like, oh, that's where that idea came from. Yeah. Now I can understand it, because it's not, you know, backwards guitar, or the voice isn't slowed down. It's, you know, you can actually hear it in its raw form. I love it all. He was such a genius.
Oh, for sure.
Just such an inspiration to every rock guitar player
Everybody.
to ever come after him. I mean, he changed the face of rock for sure.
And style.
Yeah, and style.
And he's definitely one of my biggest fashion influences, like Jimi Hendrix, Cher, Elton John.
Yeah, so Syd, alongside of your music, you also have a related business, right? Mm-hmm. What's that about?
So it's a business that I've been running with my sister for almost 10 years now, called Rebel. And it started out as like a fun idea. We were, you know, messing around, cutting up some shirts, and then it bloomed into this. We've been doing this for like 8 or 9 years now. It just bloomed into a business, you know, and it was so organic, and I got to do it with my best friend, and I still get to do it with my best friend, my sister Jo. And it's just something that we just enjoy doing together, because it started out as clothes, and then it progressed to, you know, bags and accessories and all this other stuff. And it started out as a love for our mutual love for music and fashion. It's obviously inspired by David Bowie.
Yep.
And we've been going strong ever since. And the fun part about it is I get to make a lot of my stage attire, and it's, you know, it's out there in pictures and stuff, and it's just something I love to do. And, you know, you'll be seeing a lot more of that as festival season progresses.
I hope that we do, because, you know, for those that haven't seen it yet, they're going to be in for a treat. You know, not only musically, but also from the visual aspect of what you got going on with your show.
Yeah, I just finished a piece yesterday that involves beads.
And where will we see this? Do you know yet?
You'll see it soon.
Okay.
Soon enough. Just keep your eye out.
How long, when you guys got together and you felt, you know, you had the chemistry to be moving forward, did you start writing material? Was it?
That's a good question. I know we talked about it like kind of on and off as we did those very few shows together in like 2018 or 2019, what Austin was talking about earlier. He would always say, you know, if we ever do form our own band, you know, we can get together, start writing. And it's just like, okay, you know, at that time we didn't know that it was going to actually blossom, you know, and then it did. And then we have a lot of material written that is unreleased at the moment.
Good.
So that's exciting.
That's good to hear.
A lot of good stuff coming up.
All kinds of
wait.
genres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know too. So you're hitting a lot of different
Oh, yeah.
influences and experimenting, it seems.
Yeah, like I said, we're not bound by any musical landscape. We play what we love.
The one of the best terms I like to say is a music band, not a blues band, not a rock band, not a funk band, just a music band.
Yeah,
It's live performance.
It's just live performance.
Something for everybody.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That's cool.
Yeah, we like to keep it fresh that way, and like our brand is called Acid Funk. For those who don't know, Acid is a play on both of our names, A for Austin, SYD for Syd. So we go by Acid sometimes. And when acid hits something, it melts it. So we melt a lot of different music together.
I think you do. Because here's the thing. People are talking about you guys. You know, I mean, we can be anywhere. We could be hanging out at dinner. We could be, you know, at a rock cover band gig at a local venue, and people are talking about you guys.
Oh, that's so cool.
What's going on? I mean, it's you've got a pretty good buzz going out there.
Thank you. We're trying. You know, it's been a lot of hard work, but I think it's starting to pay off. You're starting to get some recognition.
I think you're streaming some original stuff, but you've got some good shows that are lining up as well, right? And if not already established for 2024.
Absolutely. Our next one would be we're playing up Arlington Pride Festival on June 9th.
June 9th of 2024.
Yeah. And then we're also playing the next gig after that in Columbus is going to be the Gahanna Creekside Jazz and Blues Festival.
Nice.
On Father's Day.
Yeah, we're playing on Sunday. We'll be starting, I believe it, at 1:40 p.m.
Oh, perfect.
On the main blues stage. So it's we got quite a few good things coming up. Then we have another thing out in Dayton right after that called Ohio Dream Fest, and that's got a lot of really great names on it. The people who run the festival are fantastic, and we had actually won a band challenge back in September in order to get on Ohio Dream Fest. So that was kind of cool. We were able to do that, and then we got the Doodah Parade and quite a few things coming up.
Groove in the Yard at Easton, July 25th on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a fun event. And there'll be a lot of folks there too.
Yeah, we're excited.
Checking that all out. Yeah.
Yeah, we got quite a few things coming up. We're very excited, and just very blessed to to be getting the shows we're getting, the support we're getting around Columbus. I mean, it's just it warms both of our hearts to know that people are just they're digging what we're doing, and it's a great feeling.
And I think it's safe to say I feel like we have like cultivated our path, so to speak. Oh, thank you for bringing that closer. Yeah, because what we're doing is it's fresh. It's a fresh take on things. Like I said earlier, we're doing what we love, and we're not bound by anything. So it brings a lot of different people together. Like, we don't have like a specific age group that we target. There's young people, there's older people, and everything in between. And that's the beauty of what music does and what it's supposed to do anyway. So
yeah, well, in your case, it's definitely the case because it's such a melting pot of diverse perspectives and and influence. You know, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
There is.
We do like a lot of psychedelic stuff, of course. That's pretty much our brand. Psychedelic soul. We like to call it a sexy hybrid of psychedelic soul, hard rock, and merciless funk. And
merciless
funk
in your face,
and everything in between.
We're gonna melt you.
Yep.
Yes, and that you're successful at accomplishing that. I mean, just looking at the, you know, and listening to how people respond.
Yeah. We're very inspired by a lot of like the psychedelic funk, you know, George Clinton and, you know, Parliament and, you know, Bootsy Collins and Eddie Hazel and all those guys.
Yeah,
it's just,
you know, for people who haven't heard you yet, they're probably, you know, sometimes I'll add a little bit of music, and I didn't want to do that in this case because I know that your music is awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And it would be great to be grooving to it on the podcast, but I'm like, part of what this is all about is go support local music, go support Columbus-based music. I want people to go out to your, you know, your websites and check it out, and then find out where you're playing live.
Yep.
You know, and go see and hear it and experience it the way that you guys intend to deliver that. So I don't have your music going right now for that reason. I want folks to go out there and
they got to come out and see the experience.
Yep, you got to see it to believe. You got to see what we're talking about. Because another great thing that I do really appreciate about Austin is his fashion sense.
Oh yeah, I mean, is there a competition between the two?
No, we just
not at all.
I couldn't compete with this one. I know. I've got some nice shirts.
She sets the bar pretty high for me.
Yeah, Austin has immaculate style, and there's no one I would rather be playing next to. It really is an honor.
Oh, and the guy's got some pretty damn good chops too.
Yeah, and
thank you.
He has the best shirts in the city.
I try. I usually can't walk away when I find one.
Who's supplying these shirts?
Rebel. I've collected a lot of the shirts over the years. I've had people give them to me. Sean's given me a lot of different cool stage shirts he's got over in Europe and off of his tours, and you know, I've also just, I don't know, I'll be walking in a store and I'll spot a shirt and I'm like, I gotta have it. I know I shouldn't get it, but I can't walk away without it.
It chooses you.
They usually choose me. Like I'm not like a person who looks online for shirts. I'm more just I go and browse in stores, and there's always one shirt that I end up getting. And I also have people who have made shirts for me as well. Some friends of mine, Haley and Ron, which I'll tag them in this because they've made a lot of like cool custom tie-dye button-up shirts for me. And they're usually down on High Street in Arcadia. So if you ever want custom tie-dyes, go check them out.
That's a good plug right there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, they do fantastic work, and I don't know, it was just a cool idea I had one day. It was like, I like button-ups. I also like tie-dyes. I don't really wear tie-dye t-shirts. So I was like, hey, can you make me a button-up tie-dye shirt? And the last one they actually made in like less than 48 hours before our show at the Bluestone.
You were able to wear it at the show. Good deal.
It was I know it was a short amount of time to make a nice tie-dye, but they pulled it off for me.
So Austin, you're a guitar player.
Yep.
Do you perform anything else besides guitar?
It's been mostly just strictly guitar. I play a little bass just to, mess around with, but it's mostly just been guitar. I haven't really had an interest in learning other instruments. It's just, I don't know, once I picked up a guitar, it just felt at home. I'm not an ambidextrous person, so it's hard for me to coordinate like drums and stuff like that, being able to keep different time signatures on different, arms and different feet, and that's why I hire my buddy Brandon.
That's cool.
Brandon's great at everything.
Yeah. So
percussion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and string instruments are just kind of been mostly my thing. I don't know. I've always been obsessed with guitar since I started listening to all the greats, and wanted to learn every little piece I can from everyone I listen to, and try to mash it up somehow into my own style, and I think it's starting to happen.
What kind of amplifier do you typically use at a gig?
So I'll plug them too, because they're actually a sponsor of mine, Victory Amps out of England. So I started working with them, I want to say last year, or year before last. I picked up that sponsor when I was touring with Harper, and I just reached out to him. I was like, hey, I'm with the touring band. I want to know if there's, if I can get on your artist roster so I can, be a part of the team and kind of help push them. And they got back to me, and they were very excited to have me on with them. And they're a fantastic company. They're all hand wired, hand built, boutique style, Dumble style amp. And it's a fantastic rig.
It's all tube.
Yeah, it's all tube. It's called the Victory V140 Super Duchess.
There you go.
So it goes.
Any boxes between your guitar and the amp?
Yeah, I like my toys.
Yeah, well, if you're playing Hendrix style and
Yeah.
funk and whatnot, you need a little bit of something.
Yeah, I kind of, for me, I look at the pedals as like a color palette for me.
Yeah.
Not necessarily so much to take over the tone of the guitar. It's, because, you have your black and white, you have the guitar, and you have the amp. And then, and some, there's people that are amazing with just going straight into the amp. Sean's a perfect example of that. Oh my
God, yes. Yes, he is.
I just, for me, I like having a little bit of options and just like more of a colorful palette. I have a few different pedals. Another couple other companies I'm working with is Thorpe FX. I'm running the Dane Overdrive, and I'm also running Pedal Pawn Gypsy Vibe, for the Univibe sound, and also I use this great reverb pedal that gives a nice echoey sound from Game Changer Audio.
Oh,
Took
wow.
me a second there, but yeah, they're all fantastic companies. They're all like hand wired and boutique, and I try and go for the stuff that's a little bit more, it's a little bit more boutique, hand wired. It's a little bit more reliable and, easier to fix if something were to happen. I can just send it into them and they fix it, send it back to me instead of a digital processor that breaks down. And
Right.
Not knocking the digital stuff, but for me, I'm just an analog guy.
Yeah.
Through and through.
It seems like you're a Strat guy too. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Anything besides a Strat?
Not really. I have the main workhorse. It's a 1992 Mary Kay reissue, and during the years of for the guitar nerds out there, during the years of 1988 and 1992, Fender did a lot of like reissues, and they some of them were from like the original wood in the old factories, and I don't know if mine is or not, but I feel like it has an old kind of mojo to it, and I had a custom neck made for it later on. And it's a funny story about that guitar neck too. I had a late 60s Stratocaster that was unfortunately stolen from me quite a few years ago, and
man.
I was having this neck made for me by a luthier in town, and he like the neck just got finished, and he was like, "Hey man, you should bring your guitar by and put the neck on." I'm like, "Actually, it got stolen," and
That's horrible.
yeah, and that was during during week of Camp Blues, and I was out at a local jam, and unfortunately somebody must have been watching me. It's usually how it goes. But the next day, it was very cool because we were at the dress rehearsal show for Sean's Blues Camp. And Sean had people pass around a hat for me, and they made enough money to buy me the current guitar body I have. And so it just, it worked out. It
Nice.
came to be, and, the blonde guitar, now with the blonde Victory amp, it's just, I think it was all meant to be. I couldn't see myself playing another guitar, except maybe a 70s Firebird.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
That might be the only exception.
Yeah. Gibson knows how to make guitars too.
Yeah, for sure.
Syd, for you too. You're just singing, aren't you?
Yeah.
She plays the tambourine too.
I play a mean tambourine though.
Well, I don't doubt that, but but I think what are you feeling up there when you're performing?
Well, I know on very few shows there's been the case where I've been just a tad nervous. Like, I was pretty nervous when we played the Bluestone, reasonably so. I've never been a stage fright girly, but yeah, I did have a couple nerves. But when you get up there and you do your thing, I'm good. I'm good. It doesn't last long. It lasts about 2 seconds, and then
it just seems like it's so natural for you. I mean, what's going on there?
It definitely is natural. So singing is one of those things where I knew that this was something I was supposed to be doing, and I knew against any odds, I knew I was going to do it one way or another. I was telling Austin the other day, because he asked me, like, when did you start singing? And it's just like, well, there was this one time in school, how you have like Spirit Week and Career Day, or you dress up how you, what you want your career to be. And I had a little microphone with me, and I had my little outfit on, I was just like a singer. And, here we are, it's, I did my best to dress like I dressed like what I thought a singer should be dressed like.
Yeah.
But it was so funny.
Did you make the clothes then?
When I was in kindergarten?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, well,
it was whatever my parents bought me.
I didn't know how far back you were doing that.
No, it was whatever my parents had bought me at the time.
They dressed you like a singer.
Yeah, I did the best I can. I had my little microphone with me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it definitely feels natural up there, and I just feel like I'm in my happy place. If I've had like a rough week or something, that's how it's safe to say that we both blow off a little steam if our weeks have been rough when we're in rehearsal.
For sure.
We blow off steam that way.
For sure.
And when we're on the stage, I mean, it's a natural thing that happens, and I love it. I love every moment of it. And I have nothing but gratitude that I actually get to do what I love, what I've always wanted to do. And so, yeah, I can't wait to see what's in store for us in the future, because it's all happening. I don't know. It seems like it's happening fast, but at the same time, it seems like it's kind of happening right on time too. So
yeah, things happen when they happen. You know, it's amazing. But you definitely have a lot of mojo, and you have a lot of a buzz going on right now, which is exciting. And
it's very exciting.
On the business end of things, though, are you guys sharing that, or do you have management? What's your business model?
Self-management right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's us.
So it's just us, and using the connections I have from people I know. Syd using the connections she has from the people she knows and the people around us. Syd's dad does some of the booking too for us with some different people around town, and and just networking through the mutual connections you have. It's just, that's how it happens. And we've been very blessed to play at Natalie's a few times this year, and
pack the house.
Yeah,
might I add? I will humbly add that.
There you go. There you go. But I like that pride. Too. 'Cause you know what? That's something to celebrate.
It's an accomplishment.
It's a big club. I mean,
It is.
and you guys, are there.
Yeah.
To deliver, and you do.
Everyone there is just fantastic. The staff, Charlie, Lisa, everybody there is just, they're fantastic to work with, and we just get so excited whenever we get to play a show there.
Yeah.
Whether that's opening for somebody or having our own show there, and actually, speaking of that, it was a big honor for us back in February. We did our first show there, and it was actually we were sharing the bill with Sean Carney, and he was opening the night for us, and that for me was a huge honor, because Sean being my mentor over the years, and helping this connection happen between me and Syd, and helping, the connection happen when I was touring, and just, just everything he's done for me. And then to, be sharing a bill with him and then have him open the night for us, that was like, it was just an amazing feeling.
That's a true gentleman right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and that was
he's a good guy.
That was our first sold out show at Natalie's.
Yeah.
So Sean's been very instrumental in all of this.
Yeah.
So
He's a good guy to have in your corner.
Yep.
He is.
No question about it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it sounds like you have some great events that you're going to be performing in this year in 2024.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys see yourselves doing, the balance of the year and into the future?
You want to answer that?
Well,
that you want or are able to talk about.
Well, we have quite a few festivals coming up this summer. I've name dropped a few of them. We have a few more opportunities that we've lined up that I can't quite announce yet. But look out and follow our band page and all that, so you can see that. But we have some cool stuff lined up that we're very excited about, and very just honored to be a part of some of these things that we're doing. Like Creekside's a big thing. I was playing in Sean's blues camp at Creekside. 11 years old. The first time I ever performed on a stage was at that festival. And
very cool.
Now years later, I get to perform there with, not only do I get to perform there, but it's with my own band, and it's that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely going to see you guys this year. No question about it. That's probably number one on our list of maybe trying to go see it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. It's a cool festival.
Yeah, people are getting out. It's post-COVID. It's,
right.
Just really, oh my gosh.
It's starting to happen finally.
Really stretching a little bit more. It's
good. It was rough there for a minute after the whole pandemic. I was still touring during that time, and like all of our shows, they were only about with social distancing and everything still in place, we're maybe getting half the people at our shows that we would have gotten normally, and it was a weird time, but I think people are starting to come out now, and as long as they're as long as they're not Ticketmaster events. I do love Ticketmaster though. We were very blessed to be playing at the Bluestone, and the ticket prices are getting high though, and that's why I think local music is you should support it now more than ever.
Yep.
And it's a lot of the fees are going up, and it's not that I don't think like the concert industry is taking advantage of people per se, but it's just the cost of everything is going up right now, and to see a big artist like the Rolling Stones or somebody, you're gonna be paying a pretty penny to see them, and I'll support them all day long. And we're very blessed to still be seeing guys like that still touring.
I hope we get to be like that.
Yeah.
Something tell me I think you will be.
Absolutely. And, a lot of it's just the building blocks are happening for sure. And, local music is just it's now it's the time to support it. Whether you're going out to just have a bite to eat and listen to a band, whether you're going to a festival to support local bands, whether you're going to see a big concert, and even supporting those guys, because even the big guys still need it. Need the ticket sales, and it's we're making our way slowly.
But surely.
Yeah, but I love the buzz you guys have going about you. It's good
Thank
stuff.
you.
It's a good vibe too, man.
Thank you.
Syd, anything else you want to convey, talk about?
Well, I mean, I might as well. With the different, I'm the primary songwriter. I write the lyrics.
Yeah.
Austin writes the music. We're kind of like Elton John and Bernie Taupin in that sense. But yeah, we have a lot of different types of music just in the queue. Because our first single was released in July of last year. That's Mass Destruction. Go stream it if you haven't. And then
I have, and I love it.
Oh, thank you. And our song Mother was released in March. Also, go stream it if you haven't already.
I have, and I love it.
And those are our, 70s Hendrixy inspired songs, because we love artists like Jimi Hendrix. I'm a big Paul Rogers fan. I love Free, Bad Company, and stuff. So that's kind of like the vibe that Mother had.
Yeah.
And we definitely have our own sound. But you can also like still kind of hear our influences fluttering.
You sure can.
Even when we do a cover, like it's still like, okay, if we cover the Beatles or something, okay, we're going to cover the Beatles, but we're going to cover it our way.
Right.
So we love transforming covers and, doing our own damage to them. That's a lot of fun. And we have a lot of different songs that are written but haven't been released yet. We've got, like 90s grunge inspired. We've got metal. We've got psychedelic, of course. We've got the heavy hitting funk. Just all kinds of different music. We got the gritty rock thing. We kind of have that all day long. You can find that in our performances all day long. Just, there's no shortage of rock and roll.
You mentioned earlier that sometimes you guys are known as Syd.
Acid.
Acid, gotcha. Is that ever a live performance as that label?
Oh,
or is that
it's just more of like an AKA type of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like an abbreviation.
So we will always know you guys as Austin and
the Syd Experience.
The Syd Experience.
But
Yes.
just for short.
No other
Acid.
aliases or
Yeah.
versions. But knowing that you're going to pull all kinds of different
Yeah.
genre
Exactly.
based rhythms and
Yeah.
song covers, if not your own material, right?
And we kind of thought that was that was just a funny thing to play on with the whole kind of like psychedelic funk thing that we were kind of talking about with like the P-funk thing, and it was, but we also wanted to kind of come up with something that described our own sound too. So it's trying, and also it just kind of worked out with with the ASYD kind of so it all just kind of worked out and into play of what the name came to be.
Acid funk.
That's it.
That's a great description.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We thought it was a cool thing to come up with, and we're gonna have like different merch, and we already do. Syd comes up with a lot of great merch ideas, and she's her and her sister both are great with that kind of stuff, and just coming up different ideas like buttons and magnets and pocket mirrors and all the different stuff that it's just cool ideas that we don't quite have a CD yet, but we have everything else.
Yeah.
You guys you're streaming off all the major platforms.
Yeah, like if you come to one of our shows, you'll definitely find some cool merch that we can definitely guarantee.
Well, that's cool.
Stuff that's only exclusive to Acid.
And where's the best place to follow you guys? Is it Facebook and social media?
Yeah.
So we have a Facebook, Austin and the Syd Experience, Instagram as well, Austin and the Syd Experience. We also have a website, austinandthesydexperience.com, and that the website kind of has everything. It has all of our social medias and everything all in one place.
So we'll put a link of that in your episode description, and
Cool.
that will kind of work together to kind of put the copy together and think of some songs we want playing on social media in the background, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And get that stuff posted out there with a link to the episode. It's
Sounds
really
fun.
good. Well, we're looking forward to following you guys and seeing more shows live, and also some of your recording. Those two records are freaking awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love it.
There's a lot of fashion on that stage at our shows.
And that's fair enough. That's a fair statement. I've seen pictures. I've seen the photos. I mean, it looks great, and then the videos sound and look great too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Well, fantastic. Well, guys, I mean, thanks for taking the time to come here and
Absolutely.
talk about your inspirations and the beginnings of what I think is hopeful for you guys to have just a blast
And we have a lot of
expressing
fun.
your gifts and
Yeah.
letting the people enjoy what you're bringing because
Absolutely.
it's really, really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Len, I just want to say thanks for having us on. This is really an honor. First podcast ever, so.
Oh well, that's fun. That's good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having us on. It's been a blast.
You bet. Okay, guys. Well, that's Austin Johnson and Syd Alexis of Austin and the Syd Experience. Go check them out. Check them out. Thank you all for listening. Have a great night. Bye bye.